Hey everyone, welcome back here to task number 2 in the Active Directory Basics class. This is Windows domains. So picture yourself administering a small business network with only 5 computers and 5 employees. In such a tiny network, you will probably be able to configure each computer separately without a problem. You will manually log into each computer, create users for whomever will use them, and make specific configurations for each employee's accounts. If a user computer stops working, you will probably go to their place and fix the computer on site. While this sounds like a very relaxed lifestyle, let's suppose your business suddenly grows and now you have 157 computers and 320 different users located across 4 different offices. Would you still be able to manage each computer as a separate entity, manually configure policies for each of the users across the network, and provide on-site support for everyone? The answer is most likely no. So to overcome these limitations, we can use a Windows domain. Simply put, a Windows domain is a group of users and computers under the administration of a given business. The main idea behind a domain is to centralize the administration of common components of a Windows computer network in a single repository called Active Directory, or AD. The server that runs the Active Directory services is known as the domain controller. So here we go, domain controllers in the center here. Our domain is just TryHackMe, and now we get to tie in our databases, our file servers, our workstations, our desktop, and essentially manage all of these through this domain controller. So the main advantages of having a configured Windows domain are centralized identity management and managing security policies. So a real-world example, if this sounds a bit confusing, chances are that you already have interacted with a Windows domain at some point in your school, university, or work. In school university networks, you will often be provided with a username and password that you can use on any of the computers available on campus. Your credentials are valid for all machines because whenever you input them on a machine, it will forward the authentication processes back to the Active Directory, where your credentials will be checked. Thanks to Active Directory, your credentials don't need to exist in each machine and are available throughout the network. Active Directory is also the component that allows your school university to restrict you from accessing the control panel on your school university machines, and policies will usually be deployed through the network, so you don't have to have administrative privileges over those computers. So during this task, we'll assume that the role of the new IT admin at THM Inc. And as our first role, we've been asked to review the current domain, thm.local, and do some additional configurations. You will have administrative credentials over a pre-configured domain controller to do the tasks. Be sure to click the start button at the top here, and you'll use the same machine for all tasks. That should open a machine in your browser. Should you prefer to connect to it via RDP, you can use the following credentials, which we won't use because we're going to use the attack box up here. So I'm connecting, blah, blah. So since you'll be connected to the target machine via RDP, it's also a good time to start the attack box. So in a Windows domain, credentials are stored in a central repository called directory. Oops, I misspelled directory. And the server in charge of running the Active Directory services is called a domain controller. So that will do it for task number 2, which was Windows domains. We will move on to task number 3, Active Directory, and I'll start that attack box. So again, just to go over everything very quickly, a domain controller is a centralized place where we can manage all of this. So if you're working in help desk, like level 1 or even maybe level 2 or 3, when you image a machine, you're going to put it on that domain. And then what's going to happen is, so that way now it's connected to this, and then all users can log into that workstation if need be. Usually, if it's someone's laptop, they'll just be logging in, just be one user. But as hot desks become very, very common now because of the flexible work schedule, people maybe not in the office as much, maybe people working from home. You'll see like a desktop, maybe something like this. And then, people can log in there, and that's through the domain controller. They just, log in, log out, all that good stuff. So if they need to, and again, certain people have restrict access to certain databases for people, certain files. Again, we have to restrict that. And again, that can be all done through the domain controller. And you could also do a lot of things like GPOs, which I think, is task number 6. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will do my best to get back to everyone. If I don't, please don't be angry at me. But I will see you all in task number 3, Active Directory. Thank you very much.